What's going on, everybody? So we all heard the controversy about the Detroit Lions and the Cowboys game, about how the refs blew it, and Cowboys paid the refs, and the NFL is rigged, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just thinking, bro, shut up, because listen, calls happen all the time. And there's a few things that go behind this one call. Okay, so the ineligible receiver thing, you have to determine who's eligible, and the whole thing is they were trying to deceive the Cowboys. The rule was put in place so you can't deceive the opponent, and that's exactly what the Lions tried to do, was deceive the Cowboys. And they got penalized for it, as they should have, because you can't, regardless of if the two linemen were there and then 70 was running out and the ref didn't do this or whatever, but it's like, you have to, these refs are humans, I mean, they announced it, the whole stadium could hear it, there's 90-something thousand people there. So that means, everybody in the stadium heard it. Everybody did. There's a clip from the Cowboys radio. You could clearly hear them say 70 is reported eligible. That's on Detroit for not switching it up. You know what I'm saying? Because if 68 would have reported eligible, guess who would have been covered? 68. So they want to say that the Cowboys paid the refs, or it's rigged, or whatever the fuck else they want to say. I just don't know. No, that's not. Just stop being dumb. Because first of all, if the Cowboys paid the refs, if the NFL was rigged, don't you think Cowboys would have been to a Super Bowl the last 3 decades, two and a half decades, however the fuck long it was? Wouldn't that make sense? If they're paying the refs, what are they paying them with? They're the most penalized team in the NFL. People fail to realize that. Like, Cowboys cannot go through any adversity, like, at all, throughout the season, throughout a game, throughout an iffy call. Like, Philadelphia made a season out of it until they really got exposed by, guess who? The Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers kicked their ass. But I truly think Dallas was the beginning of the Eagles' downfall. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, the Cowboys, it's so weird. Like, listen, I know the Cowboys aren't great. I mean, they're good. They're a great team overall, players and shit. But we could play better. But that's every team. And the game with the Lions, a win is a win, of course. And they point their finger to that one call as being the reason that they lost. No, because it shouldn't even have been in that situation. The whole game should have been different, because I don't know why people aren't mentioning the fact that Micah Parsons never gets held, or he always gets held, but he never gets a call for him. Don't you think if the refs were for Dallas, don't you think, like, he would have more calls? Because he's arguably one of the best defensive players in the league, and one of the best football players in the league. So if it was rigged, don't you think they would be, like, trying to look out for him? It just doesn't make sense to me. There's always something. It's always, what's that saying? Moving the goalposts. It's been like that all season. And I know I don't get on here all the time and talk about the losses, and I don't really, but I mean, it's a football season, like the Buffalo game, we we were shit. You know, we didn't tackle, and Dalvin Cook, or James Cook, he went off. You know, it's just one of those days for him. He didn't have a day like that really all season. Miami, we were close in Miami. I can't remember what happened in Miami. Probably penalties, something costly. But we played Miami well. Defensively, we played them well. You know, just couldn't get it done. But I just, you know, Dallas never gets love for fighting through adversity like other teams get credit for fighting through adversity. And I think that's bullshit, because there's 31 other teams in the NFL. If you go and you look at all the teams below the teams that have like more than 10 wins, if you look below that, it's a lot of fucking teams. So the fact that the teams who have more than 10 wins, that's impressive. And those teams are great teams. The 49ers, I guess the Eagles, I mean, they're still a good team. The Ravens, the Cowboys, you know, like the Lions. These are solid teams. They're all solid teams. And even the teams that have 8 wins, 7 wins, they're good teams. It's the NFL. That's why the Cardinals beat the Eagles. Like, that's the thing that drives me fucking nuts every week. You know, it's like all these other teams get passes, or the anything can happen every week excuse. But as soon as Dallas does anything, like if they lose, bro, because listen, if Dallas lost because of that 2-point conversion, like if they'd called it correctly or whatever, or actually say they got the penalty and then the second attempt they didn't intercept it, and they actually scored and won, do you know what we wouldn't be hearing about? That first penalty. And I know it seems obvious, but that's how it is. Because the fact that they had 2 other chances, they had 2 chances after that. You could have just kicked the PAT. Because the Lions offense was playing fine. I mean, especially that drive, that last drive to get them down the field and score. I mean, they were playing good. You know what I mean? So, listen, I get it. Whatever. I really don't care, because Dallas usually loses games because of calls like that. And it's been like that for the last, I don't know, I can't tell you how long. I'm almost 27 years old, and I mean, I know that shit like that has happened a lot in playoffs, big time games, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb. Twitter and the internet, social media, when it comes to shit like that, y'all gotta shut up, man. Y'all just don't know what you're talking about. I mean, sometimes it's so blatantly obvious that y'all have no clue what you're talking about. Because if the refs, or like the analysts that they call in, like on the live broadcast, if they're saying that there's other calls on that play that would have been penalized anyways, why the fuck are y'all talking about that illegal touching when it was already an illegal formation? Because if you look at that formation, that's not right. That's not right. Because first of all, the wrong person, or they called the wrong person eligible. So you could have corrected them. I mean, it's that simple. And then 68 catches the pass as a left tackle. A left tackle. Again, it would have been fine if they reported, but they didn't. And, you know, that's not why they lost the game. I promise you. It couldn't be the fact that Dak had 345 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or that Jared Goff had 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? It's none of those things. It's none of those things that actually determine the game. It's not the fact that Dallas held the Lions' offense in check, really, for the whole game. I mean, St. Brown had a nice game, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I just... Go Cowboys. That's all I can say. Go Cowboys. I really don't give a fuck, really, if people are upset. You know, I like the Lions. I like them. I don't know if I do anymore, just because of the bullshit that you hear from the internet, which is something that I don't pay attention to really in the first place. But if it's all you see, it's like, all right, man, let it go. You know what I mean? The Lions are already in the playoffs. They already won their division. You know, they wanted to beat Dallas so bad. Just like every other team that plays Dallas, they want to beat Dallas so bad. Like, just relax, man. Shit. Relax. It's okay. It'll be fine. Dallas and Detroit might meet again in the playoffs. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? I don't know. But just calm down a little bit. All right. Let Dallas enjoy their golden moments, man. Just like every other fan base gets to enjoy their golden moments. Y'all are just rude. That's all it is. Y'all are rude, and you don't want to see nobody be great. But you know, it is what it is. Hey, go Cowboys. Dak Prescott for president, and CeeDee Lamb for mayor of the U.S., I guess. Anyways, Cowboys Nation, Swaggy Nation, peace.